Mission Niti Aayog team से हूँ. Good evening, all of you. My name is Anuj Keshwar and I'm from the ATL Innovation Mission Niti Aayog team. Today, we are going to interact with a lot of ATL students, former alumni, and innovators of the community, and learn about how are we going to refine a product during our Tinkerpreneur series, which is already happening at this particular point of time. आज हम काफ़ी सारे ATL स्टूडेंट्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट करने वाले हैं और ये समझने वाले हैं कि हम अपने प्रोडक्ट को कैसे रिफाइन कर सकते हैं इस साल के ATL टिंकरप्रेन्योर के पार्ट में. सो आज का सेशन जो है वो हमारे विजनल मेंटर ऑफ चेंज किरण कुमार एचएस लीड करेंगे. Today's session will be led by our regional mentor of change, Kiran Kumar HS, and we have students who are D. Varshini, Meghana, Sadia with us. हमारे साथ किरण कुमार एचएस हैं जो रीजनल मेंटर ऑफ चेंज है और एटीएल स्टूडेंट्स हैं डी वर्षिनी, मेघना एंड सैद सदिया. Okay, without further ado, I would now like to invite Kiran to take over the session. Without किसी भी डिले के मैं सीधा किरण सर को रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आज का सेशन प्लीज आप शुरू करें. थैंक यू सो मच, ऑल द बेस्ट, एंड आई होप आप सभी काफी चीजें सीखेंगे आज. ओवर टू यू किरण.
Thank you, Ronak sir. Thank you very much for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be hosting another session during this second edition of the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp. Many of you must have seen me last week, last Wednesday, when we hosted our first Handhold Me mentoring session. We had 3 Tinkerpreneur students also who had joined me last week, and we talked about the topic of building a digital product. This week again, we have 3 more Tinkerpreneur students who are participating in today's session. I'm Kiran Kumar, by the way, and I've been associated with ATL Innovation Mission since the last 4 years as a mentor of change and also as a regional mentor of change. And let me also introduce my co-participants. Varshini, she's a class 10 student from Kendriya Vidyalaya, DRDO in Bangalore. We have Sadia, she's a class 9 student from Nagarjuna Model School, Kadapa in Andhra Pradesh. We have Meghana, she is a class 7 student from Harvest International School, Bangalore, Karnataka. So the plan today is to show you how to refine the digital product that you have built in the last 1 week. And our Tinkerpreneur students are going to show you how you can refine your product by showcasing their own demos of digital products that they have built and refined over the last 1 year during the last Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp and even beyond that. Not only will they showcase their demos, but they will also share a lot of valuable experience that have gained as Tinkerpreneurs in the last 1 year. So before we get started with our Tinkerpreneurs, I'll take the first 10 minutes or so to introduce you to the topic of today's topic. I'll not take much time. I want to put the focus with the students so that students learn from other students. So we are encouraging more peer learning and sharing during this year's Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp. Okay, so let me keep my session short. I'll share my screen now and run you through a very quick overview of what this week's topic is all about. Okay, hope you can see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm just putting it on full screen mode now. Just confirm to me if it is in full screen mode and then I'll begin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the topic of this week is refining your digital product. In fact, 1 week back, we talked about how to build your digital product. I mean, basically using 1 or more digital skills that you have acquired during the first few weeks of the bootcamp. So some of you took some of those skills, you combined them in different ways, and you picked up a problem and you combined your problem with the skills that you have, and you came up with a product idea. And using that product idea, you actually built the product using the skills that you had. And now you need to take that further along the journey. The initial version of the product you built may or may not necessarily be what is expected in the market. That is why we need to refine the product. So this is a quote from Steve Jobs. It says there is a tremendous amount of craftsmanship between a great idea and a great product. Before you can introduce a great product to your customers, to the market, you need to put in a lot of effort, lot of work is required. Otherwise, the idea is maybe good, but the product also has to be good in order for it to be acceptable in the market. So with that, let's get started. So whatever you built last week, that was the initial version of the product. We also call it as a minimal viable product, or an MVP for short. Okay, just remember this term called MVP, minimum viable product. It has just basic features and capabilities or functions that will help you validate your product idea with a few users. May not necessarily be customers, but they may be just users who will test your product, initial version of the product, give you some feedback, and they'll help you refine your product or improve your product. Basically, the feedback will help you see what is missing in your product or what needs to be improved in your product, and then you can improve on it. So this is what an MVP stands for. So it's just a basic version of the product. And let's take a simple example. Initially, when you started off the basic version of the product, it may look like a skateboard with just two wheels, as you can see on the picture on the left side. And then when you start refining it and the wheels become bigger, and then you have some seat, and then you have some handle, and then you have a pedal, it starts looking more like a bicycle. And then let's say you attach a motor to it, and then it becomes a motorbike or a motorcycle. And then as you keep refining it further and further, and it has four wheels, and then it has four seats or five seats to sit inside, and then it has a top cover and everything, it starts looking more like a car. So if you see the difference between the initial version of the product and a later version of the product, you'll see a huge difference. Okay, what you started off was some small thing, but what you ended up was a totally different thing. Maybe the market expects a car, but if you were to sell a skateboard, it may not necessarily sell. So you need to continuously refine your product to a level where it becomes market ready and it is acceptable to the customers or users. That call on my phone. Okay, that's fine. So let's go to the next slide. So what should we do in order to refine the product? So in this bootcamp, we will look along a few dimensions of what you need to do in order to refine your product. So you need to refine your product, the product's features and functions. Okay, you need to refine its benefits that it offers its customers. Okay, benefits are the value that the customer gets in using your product. And quality, nobody would wants to buy a product which is of poor quality, right? So you need to definitely improve the quality. There are mistakes and issues, you need to improve on it. And user experience, or the look and feel, or the usability of the product, all of these are very important. How the product looks, how it appears, is it easy to use, is it difficult to use? It may do all the things that a customer wants, but it may be hard to use. Then also customers won't like it. So it's important that you improve the user experience of the product, how the user uses the product. Okay, and features and functionalities are very basic things. Features and functionalities will dictate what the product, the problem that, or the need that the problem addresses. If it doesn't even address the basic needs or expectations or the problems of the customer, they will not even buy your product. So that's first and foremost. But if you have very few features and functions, then also the customer may not buy it. So it should have adequate number of features and functions. So it's important that you make sure that you give whatever is the basic minimum expected features and functions of the product. You need to deliver that in order for your product to be sellable in the market. And of course, benefits will improve as you improve the features and functions, and it provides more benefits to users. And lastly, packaging is also important. How you package, how you present your product to your customers, that also is very important. If you don't package it, it looks shabby. It may do all the job. It may inside, it may look good, but outside, the box that you put around it, it may not look good, or the way you are sharing it with the customer, it doesn't look good. They may think, what is this product? It looks so ugly on the outside. It maybe it's inside, it's very beautiful, but outside doesn't look good, then also it becomes a problem. So how you package, how you present your product, all these things are very important. So make sure that you present your product well. Okay, that is all we are expecting for you to do, because this is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. In this 1 week, do as much as you can in refining and improving the product, whether it is features, functions, benefits, quality, user experience, or how you package it. I'll give you a few examples. You will know what it and you can learn from those. And when our Tinkerpreneurs showcase their demos, you'll learn from a few more examples how you can refine your product. So I'll give you 3 examples. So I'll start with the example that I showed you last week. So if you remember, I talked about an ebook that I had created. The book was named A Trek to Biaskund. And if you remember that book, it was a travel book. It had lots of photos and pictures and things like that, right? Or this is the product. So this is the ebook, A Trek to Biaskund in Himachal Pradesh. This is a travelogue written by me. And you have seen all these pictures. Those of you who attended our session last week, you will know that I had presented all this. It has a story, it has lots of pictures. And what I'm going to show you today is how we have added more features and functions and more benefits to the users or customers or readers who are going to buy this book through some more value additions. Okay, the basic story is the same, the photos are the same. Okay, but we have added something more now. Okay, so let me scroll down. The first few pages are all same. Now if you see this, okay, there is a video that has been added. Last week also there was a video, but that was my own video I had created. Now you see that I've added a YouTube video to this. Okay, so I'll click on this and it takes me to YouTube. And it gives me a video on Biaskund. Okay, so you can watch this video. So in the interest of time, I'll pause this video. I'll not be playing it fully. And let me come back and go back to where I started the video. And then if you scroll, this is like something similar to a QR code. But when you scan this Zap code with your phone, it requires an app called a Zapper app. When you scan it, it actually shows you an experience of this trek or the Biaskund trek in augmented reality. So that's a value addition that you can see in this. So readers of this book can also experience the story in augmented reality. Okay, augmented reality is one of the skills you would learn in the Tinkerpreneur bootcamp. If you go there, you will find out what I'm saying. Similarly, there is also a podcast of the about the the Biaskund trek. So there is a podcast that has been embedded in this ebook, and if you click on it, actually it opens a podcast of which has been recorded by an experienced trekker. If you click on the play button here, it actually shows you. It actually plays a podcast. A podcast is basically an audio recording of an experienced trekker who has actually gone to on this trek, and he speaks about his experience. So the whole idea is anybody who wants to get more information about this trek, who is reading this book, they can also listen to the podcast. Apart from this, there's also an Alexa skill that has been added to this ebook to make it a little more interesting. Okay, when you click this Alexa skill, it actually opens this page where you can enable the skill and you can actually talk to Alexa device in your home, or you can use the Alexa app and it can give you some facts about the Biaskund trek. So you can learn more. You can not only read the book, but you can also learn from Alexa. You can also learn from the podcast and things like that. You can also take a quiz. This quiz I had already shown you last week. So if you click on it, it opens a Google form and it shows you a quiz. So whatever you have read in this book, you can actually take a quiz and make it more interesting. Similarly, think of if you can make your own textbooks also like this, it would be a lot more interesting. And let's say some readers of this book, they want to know more about this Biaskund. What is it? Can I go there? What can I do? So they can click on this chat now, and it opens a chatbot. Chatbot is another skill that you would learn in the Tinkerpreneur bootcamp. So When I click on this, it opens this chatbot, and I can say get started, and it'll ask you, I can ask it many questions. What is Biaskund? Is it a difficult trek? What is the best time to go? And things like this. I can ask it many questions. So if I click on it, it actually gives me some information and then comes back to the same menu. So this is how the chatbot works. You can ask more questions and get to know more information that you're interested. Instead of cramming everything into one book, we are given more information online as well. And finally, on the last page, you can also book your trek. If you click on this, it actually allows you to book your next trek to Biaskund. So you can go there to this website and you can see the price, and you can even view the dates, and you can register and book your trek itself. So this is how the ebook has been enhanced. It brings a totally different kind of experience to the viewers on how they actually um, um, experience an ebook. Okay. So now let's come back to the slide deck. Okay, this is one example. If you see, it has lots of features and functions that have been enhanced in this ebook, and it also offers several new benefits. And let me show you a second example. This is a simple quiz-based product. It's a simple quiz that you probably created earlier. And then how do we polish it, or how do we refine it to make it look more attractive and better? You can polish the look and feel of this, more usability, better user experience. You can add lots of pictures to make it more interesting. You can even add some videos. You could even add a zap code which somebody can scan, find out more information, then come back and answer the quiz. You can do a lot more. You can be very innovative in a simple product like a quiz. And you can package many of these quizzes together and bundle it, and you can sell it. Maybe quizzes can be in academic subjects for school students or for college students. So this is another example. The third example that I want to show you is about how you could package your product. Let's say you built a chatbot based product, and if you are just sending the link to the chatbot or just sending the chatbot as it is, it may not look very appealing. But what if you can embed your chatbot within a website, okay, and put some introductory information, or it gives some more information, and then people know how to use the chatbot, and then they go click on it and they start using it. It will be a lot more better if you can package your digital products within a website or something that makes it more appealing. So these are three examples that I showed you of how you could potentially refine. These are simple examples I've given you. Our Tinkerpreneurs are going to show you more interesting examples. And now what are you supposed to do in this week? In this week, all we ask you to do is refine your product along a few steps. Enhance your product's features and functions. Okay, bring more features and functionality so that it can solve the customer's need or problem better. You can polish the looks of your product, improve the user experience, usability, and all of these. And you can improve the quality. If there are any mistakes or errors or issues, you can fix them. And finally, package your product, and finally submit your activity or assignment by the end of the week. I have generally put these dates 26 to 31st, but you can work with your mentors and make sure that you submit these on the KidX portal. Okay. And next week, we are going to learn more about how to commercialize your product. Once you have built the product, you should know how to sell it in the market. So what are the things that we need to plan before we actually go to the market and start selling our product? So this is what we are going to cover in next week. So this is pretty much what I wanted to cover, my short introduction. Let me unshare my screen again. I hope you got a very concise and crisp picture of what it takes to refine your product. Okay, now let's go back to our Tinkerpreneurs who are waiting to showcase their demo. So first we will go through their demos one by one, and then we will have a little panel discussion of sort with the three Tinkerpreneurs, and they're going to share their valuable experiences with all of you today. So let me first start with Varshini. So Varshini has built an amazing mobile app. I'll not say much about it. Let her explain about it, and she will also showcase a demo of her mobile app today. So over to you, Varshini.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am D. Varshini, a student of class 10 studying in Kendriya Vidyalaya DRDO, an adult tinkering lab student just like you. Also, I would love to welcome you to week 4. Don't be too hard on yourself and just have fun and refine your products this week. So, I'm assuming most of you, if not all of you, have created your first digital product. That's honestly so amazing, but think about it. Can't you make it so much better? Well, I'll show you just how to do that. To explain things better, I'll show you the app I and my friend Kavana have created and how we refined it. So, to begin with, I'll start by sharing my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
It's coming up, I guess. We can see it. Whiteboards.
This is ByteBots and it's a refined digital product and it's an e-learning platform. It's a really valuable digital asset. Here you can learn and understand about the 21st century skills that today's students should be aware of for their future. This was the first app I have ever created. The ride to creating our product was definitely bumpy, but with a little push we completed it and even refined it. In the process of creating it, we learned so many new things about the software we were using and the overall information we provided. Now, what you see here is the home screen. When you click Explore More, you are redirected to the main screen from where everything can be accessed easily. If you look closely, you can see its neatness and overall presentation. Before, it was just plain text, no images, nothing. And even I couldn't read the text I wrote. But I added a few graphical elements, made it more clean, and so it just made it so much better. If your creation doesn't excite the user, they will not look through. So everything you create should look orderly, organized, and uncluttered, even if it's just a small quiz or feedback form. Another thing to keep in mind is looks are definitely important, but content is equally and actually way more important. If it looks good but it's not useful, there's really no point. But if done correctly, these minor improvements can lead to smaller innovations in the core product. The base of this app was created in Cordula, and neither of us used it before. So we learned many new things from YouTube and photos and videos and websites and all that. Now, as I mentioned, this is an e-learning app, so here you can learn about 21st century skills, soft skills, and digital skills. But there's more. You can view a website or a chatbot. Okay, so what shall we see first? How about the website? And I have directly embedded the website into the app so that people don't have to click a link, go to another app or anything like that and make it a huge hassle. So instead, by embedding it, it'll become way more easier for the users. So here we provided information like who are we, and I've also embedded the chatbot like Sir had mentioned earlier. You can learn about the same things but with a lot more data and videos. So let's go back to the home screen. Let's look at the chatbot. Firstly, this chatbot asks for your name and then it proceeds to provide three options. You begin by activating it and typing your name. So when you click yes, I want to learn, it'll give you three options. First, what are 21st century skills, what are soft skills, and you can also take a quiz. It's a very short and fun MCQ quiz that we can all answer just by going through the reading materials. When rectifying the chatbot, we made sure to provide the right information without cutting off anything or adding too many things to make it complicated. We just tried to polish it and develop it to make it more appealing and attractive. So let's take the quiz. Which of these is not 21st century skills? Let's see. How about marine biology? Okay, wait. So I got it right. And since I don't have all day to show off this chatbot, I'll say no and we'll go back to the main screen. Let's learn a bit about soft skills. Here we see the definition of soft skills and the meaning of some skills like communication skills, teamwork, leadership skills, work ethic, adaptability, and so much more. Now, let's look at the 21st century skills page. You can learn about quite a lot of things here, starting with critical thinking, which is making conclusions based on objective analysis of multiple sources of data. Then we have creative thinking, problem solving, social skills, etc., etc. The list goes on. But these skills are really important for all of us. Okay, so now we know 21st century skills and soft skills, but what are digital skills? Well, let's see. Digital skills are the skills needed to use digital devices, communication applications, and networks. Some digital skills are computer literacy, data entry, and social media, which actually most of us are already aware of, which is already such a great thing. So, what we learn from this is that customers are instantly drawn to our goods when it has achieved a level of perfection. With minimal marketing effort, the product sells itself. The feedback you'll receive from your customers and end users will tell you everything about the quality of your work. If you receive bad feedback, improve your product. If you get good feedback, try and figure out what more you can provide for the users. Also, a product is never 100% perfect. A product can go through several stages of refinement but still need improvement. It can always be improved no matter how good it functions. For example, Google. It always has new updates for you. Even if we are already content with it, it tries to improve its products for us users to make our work easier. Now, how will people use my product? The website and chatbot are already up for for people to go through. Once this app is available on Play Store, children, students, teachers, parents, anyone can look through, understand, and increase their knowledge on 21st century skills, soft skills, and digital skills. We've also started working on new updates that will soon be out to the world. Everything, including the videos, photos, and quizzes, will help everyone understand the subject better. Wait, you want to make an app too? That's so amazing. Let's see. Here are the tools we use. The app itself was constructed in Codula, a free platform to create and publish Android apps. It has a very simple interface and it's perfect for beginners. As a person who never made an app, it was a lot of fun trying this. And for the website within the app, we've used Google Sites, which is simple website creation platform provided by Google. And for the chatbot, we use Landbot, again another free platform. The interface of all these platforms are really easy to use, so you should really try them out. And for the images in the website and the app, we used several royalty-free websites to gather the images. And lastly, I really do hope my demo was worth your time and now you have understood the importance of refining your digital product. I can really not wait until your products are out to the world as well. Thank you.
Wow, that was an amazing demo, Varshini. Very interesting digital product. Yes, I thought it was just a mobile app, but you have many more things within it. You even have a chatbot, you have quizzes, and you have many more things. So you have combined multiple skills. That's really amazing. And it's more importantly, the way you have refined it, you have packaged it, you have polished it. That's really uh, very nice to know the journey you have gone through in doing this. Of course, as you rightly said, I mean, there's no end to it. I can keep improving your product, but that's a journey. I mean, the more and more you improve and better product you can build, the product becomes better, and then maybe you get more customers and you grow your business. That's fantastic. So thank you for your demo, but just don't go away because we are coming back to you with our experience sharing session after we finish the demos. Now let me go to Meghana. So Meghana, as I said, she was a class 7 student. She built a product called Meghana. With your permission, I'll tell you the product name. It's called Swarasati. It's an app where you can learn music. Okay, the rest I'll leave it to Meghana to say. I will not say much. She in last year's Tinkerpreneur bootcamp, she built this product, and her product made it to the top 100 in the top 100 products of Tinkerpreneur bootcamp 2021. And subsequently, she was selected to the ATL Catalyst program as well, and she refined her product further during this journey of ATL Catalyst program over several weeks. And today she's going to present to you a refined version of her product called Swarasati. Over to you, Meghana.
I hope you can see my screen.
Not yet. Okay, we can see it now. But Meghana, go ahead.
Hey guys, I am Meghana and I am a 7th grader in Harvest International School. Hope you're enjoying your sessions. Product development is singularly the most important activity in the boot camp. It is a foundation on which you will build the rest of your journey. Today, I am here to introduce my product, Swarasati, that I made last year in this very same boot camp. How many of you here like music? This could be anything from movie songs, BTS and Blackpink, to Tchaikovsky and Tyagaraja. Almost all of us listen to music. Some of us sing in the shower and secretly wish to learn music. Some of us are lucky to find a guru, others not so much. My app Swarasati got it covered. Swarasati is your very own Carnatic music buddy, designed and developed to help you learn and practice music anytime, anywhere. Here is a demo of Swarasati. Once you install the app, this is how it will be on your device. Let's get started. Swarasati can be accessed as a guest without creating your own account. You need to register to unlock full potential since the guest login has limited features. Let's first try it. As a guest, you can only access level 0 of Carnatic music, Surli Verse or Surli Swaras. Let's dive into the only available option to us. The Swarasati app lists 7 Surli Verses. Let's learn the very first one today. You can listen to the lesson, sing along, and practice. Here, the app provides the details of the lesson ragam, talam, notes, etc. Everything you need to know about the lesson. Last week was about building your product. So, these are aspects you would want to consider while refining your product. This week, focus on improvements. You can listen to the lesson as many times as you want and perfect your singing. Re ga ma pa da ni sa da ni da pa ma ga re sa. Record and review are not available for guest login. Now that we've seen its guest login and its limitations, let's look at the registered login and unlock full potential of the app. First time registration, you need to provide your basic details and create an account. Choose your subscription plan. Currently, the subscription plans available are monthly, quarterly, and yearly. There are package deals and discounts. Again, this is an added attraction to your product, another refinement. Choose your payment mode, make the payment, voila, you're set. Here are the lessons available to you. Lessons are structured by level. I will select Geete to see the features offered by Swarasati. These are the list of Geete to select from. Pick the lesson you want to learn today. Please note, while designing your product, make it appealing to the users. Like for example, I added some pictures here for easy recognition of the song. This week, refine, refine, refine. Let's start with Ganesha, Sri Gananatha. Like we saw already, all the details for the lesson are available here too. Ah, there's a pro tip. You see, one more refinement. Listen to the lesson as before, sing along and practice. registered users have an option to record and review to see how well you learned the lesson. Once you're done with learning the lesson, record your singing and review. The review option compares your singing to the original lesson and provides you feedback. Additional feature, Swarasati app can be used not only to uh, learn music but also to complement for additional practice when the teacher is not around. So if you're using it complementary, you also have an option to upload your teacher's lesson and compare. Let's go back home, see if it works. Swarasati is an Android-based application. It is free to download to all with limited features. You need you, you can explore the basic version of the app, and once you're convinced, you can subscribe to unlock full potential. I did the proof of concept using MIT App Inventor. The refined product was done in Cordula. The development journey of Swarasati was like that of the ugly duckling. The initial prototype was focused only on ensuring if the idea works, the basic functionalities. The refined product, we focused on improvements. Guest login, registered user login, upload option, charts, personalized feedback, pro tips. Once you prove your concept, refinement is a continuous process, never ending, if I may add. Then we shifted focus to UI or user interface, making the app aesthetic, appealing, and more importantly, intuitive and easy to use. It is all about getting a market ready product. A good idea is only as good as its execution. Let's quickly compare to give you an idea of the difference between proof of concept and refined product last week and this week. This is the home screen, guest login, level 0, lesson screen. You can see the stark difference between last week and this week. As you've seen today, an average 6th grader with no significant programming experience could build an app with the skills acquired from this very bootcamp. Of course, with the support of ATL mentors and fellow Tinkerpreneurs. All the best for your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you, and I hope this inspires you.
Wow, thank you, Meghana. I can really see the way you have refined your product. It's come a really long way. Significant improvement since the last time I saw your app. Tremendous work, fantastic. So congratulations on your achievement. It definitely has a lot of potential um, when it goes to the market, and it can benefit more people. And hopefully I'll also be able to learn music from your app in the future. Okay, so so again, please wait. We will come back to you again, but let me go now to Sadia. Sadia is going to showcase the third demo of the day. If you remember, we had a student by name Shima last week. She had showcased a product called Adolescent Dost, which was basically to address the questions of adolescent boys and girls. And Shima, Sadia is her teammate. Shima and Sadia have worked together on this product. Today, Sadia is going to showcase how both of them have refined this product further and made it look even better. So I'll hand it over to Sadia. And Sadia, if you can showcase the difference and how we have refined the product, if you can show the earlier version of the product and the new version of the product, I think our audience will get a good picture of what is the change that has taken place from week 3 to week 4. Over to you, Sadia.
Sure. Hello everyone, this is Sadia from class 8 of Nagarjuna Model School, Kadapa, Andhra Pradesh. So today I am going to show you the product which me and my teammate Sheikh Shima Fareen have built. Our product normally solves the problem and addresses the social cost, which is usually adolescent boys and girls feel very shy to ask questions about adults to their parents, family members, or elders. So, to address this issue, we have come up with a chatbot named Adolescent Doors. This chatbot instantly answers the questions of the adolescent boys and girls. And this chatbot also provides additional information through YouTube videos, website links, and a quiz at last to test the understanding about the subject adolescent. Are you all excited to see the chatbot? Yeah. So I guess Shiva has already shown you the initial version of the chatbot. Today, I will show you the refined version of the chatbot. So I guess you can see the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Sadia, go ahead.
So in the here we have the initial version of the chatbot. Here, whereas we have the refined version of the chatbot, which is well packaged in the website. One of the feature of the refined product. You can see here we in the refined in the website we have kept the name of the chatbot, some information about the chatbot, and a link to the chatbot. If I click here, it directly takes me to the chatbot where the two adolescents can get answer to their questions in an anonymous and also very secure way. So you can see here there is a difference here that the initial version of the chatbot does not have any color, whereas the refined version of the chatbot have two contrasting colors, a light blue and a dark blue. This helps us to make our product attractive and make it a good look, and we may attract our customers. If we attract them, ultimately they may buy our product. So in the both chatbot, they say hi there. Hi, I am adolescent those. And they also say me hi through a image. Then they ask me to type the name. So let me type the name and then send it. What do you think will happen next? Are you excited to know what will happen next? Yeah. So let me type it and then let me send it. Here you can see in the initial version of the chatbot, it says, hey, I am here to clear all your doubts related to adolescence or teenage. Whereas in the refined version, it gives a brief introduction about the chatbot. And also, it says the chatbot is the friend of adolescent and it is going to answer all the doubts of the adolescent. We are connecting a friendly relationship with the customer. If it, if we are not friendly, will they get answer to their questions? Yeah. And then it asks me to select the gender in the both the chatbot, either a girl or a boy. So let me select the gender in the both the chatbots. After selecting, you can see the difference again that in the initial version of the chatbot, we have only a few queries to be answered, whereas in the refined version of the chatbot, we have many queries to be answered, and also some videos, quiz, and also article. So you can see here we have this grammatical spelling mistake and grammatical mistakes in the initial version, whereas in the refined version we don't have any spelling mistake and grammatical mistakes too. So let me click on the query, which is why pimples and acne are common in adolescent age. In the initial version, it answers the query and then it comes back to the first button, which is select your gender. Where in the refined version, it answers the query and then it comes back to the previous button. If you observe carefully in the professional apps, when they are done with their work, they come back to the previous button rather than going to the first button. So let me show you the article, which is an additional info in our refined version of the chatbot. If I click on that, it tells me check out the article about adolescence as a unique development period. And also it provides a button to me to open the article. If I click here, it directly takes me to the article where the adolescent can gain more knowledge. Next, we also have the quiz. So if I click on that, it tells me test your understanding through a quiz. And also it provides me a button to answer the quiz. and test my knowledge about the subject. It has many questions where I can adolescent can the understanding. Next, we also have two YouTube videos, as I've mentioned before. We have the video about reaching adolescence and also changes during puberty. I want to know more about the changes during puberty. So let me click on that. If I click on that, it gives a brief introduction that what the video if you want to know more about physical changes that take place in adolescent boys and girls. And also it provides me a button to open and watch the video where I can gain more knowledge about the adolescent. So this chatbot will be available to the users through a website. Adolescent boys and girls can just visit the website, start the chatbot, and get answer to their questions in an anonymous and also a very secure way. This chatbot also provides additional information through YouTube videos, website links, and also a quiz at last to test the understanding for the adolescent. Here we have used Landbot.io tool to create a chatbot. It is a very easy tool to create interactive and attractive chatbots. It has many features like colorful backgrounds, buttons, and chats layouts, which you can try. In addition, we have also used Google Forms to create quizzes. We have integrated the quizzes within the chatbot. And if you have any doubts, queries, or feedback, you can just mail me at atl01@nmskadapa.edu.in. Let me repeat again, atl01@nmskadapa.edu.in. I will be awaiting to see all your creations, feedbacks, or queries. Thank you for giving this golden opportunity. Over to you, sir.
Wonderful, Sadia. Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, I think there is a bit of problem with my network, I guess. Yeah, can you? Hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So thank you, Sadia. That was an amazing demo that you showcased. I can see a lot of improvements from what Shima had showed us last week. A whole host of difference, a whole host of new features and functionality has been added to the chatbot, and you have brought multiple skills together to bring significant value addition to users. So really well done. I'm really impressed. So again, stay back. We will, all of you have showcased your demos. Let's utilize the remaining time for a few questions. So we'll have a little kind of panel discussion of sort with our Tinkerpreneurs who have showcased you their demos, but let's also understand what went on behind the scenes, how they actually transformed in the process of building or refining or taking their products to the market. What was a transformational journey that they saw through the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp, and also the transformation they brought into their own products. Let me start with Varshini first. Varshini, the first question is for you. So I guess you are already familiar with what I'm saying. So basically, having skill is one thing, but using the skill to add value and benefits to people is a totally another thing. So my question to you is, in your personal experience, in your personal journey as a Tinkerpreneur, what was a mind shift that you went through from having a skill to using that skill?
Well, there's a lot I can say for this question. That mind shift wasn't a short term thing. It was a very long journey, and it's not something that will anytime end until I die, I guess. But we don't have all day for me to talk about the months of journey, but I'll try my best to put it in words. When I began acquiring digital skills, the instructions were already provided and I just had to follow them. Do this, do that, do this, do that. Okay, I did that. Through this, I made creations big and small. However, using these skills to create something useful and functional like my app was a huge thing and it required a huge mind shift. I had to start thinking out of the box to solve people's daily problems. It was a stressful ride in the beginning, but as time passed by and I got more familiar with what I was doing, it made me want to keep doing this and never stop. I let my mind go crazy and I made crazy decisions, but it all contributed to something I never would have thought of.
Wow. Wow. That's great to know, Varshini. So happy to learn that you have developed an entrepreneurial mindset. That's the term I would use. You have developed an entrepreneurial mindset through your journey of the boot camp of becoming a tinkerpreneur or an entrepreneur. So I realize that you are also able to tap into many new opportunities after having gone through this journey. So my next question is to Meghana. Meghana, basically, everybody says that the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp equips them with digital technology skills and entrepreneurial skills. But I've also, when I spoke to many students, they've said that 21st century skills are a key byproduct of this bootcamp. Students have acquired many 21st century skills. So in your experience, can you tell us what are some of those 21st century skills that you have acquired in your journey as a tinkerpreneur during the bootcamp and even after that?
Flexibility and adaptability. Being flexible, I didn't mean being able to touch your toes. Being mentally flexible and adaptable. Being ready for and capable of change. For starters, I learned to listen to feedback effectively, deal positively with praise, setbacks, and criticism. And engaging with tinkerpreneurs across India helped me understand that there are diverse views. We need to balance them to reach solutions. The 21st century is labeled as the age of competition, change, and excellence. In order to persist, we need to embrace multitude of changes continuously and rapidly. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Meghana. That was really great to know that you have acquired many 21st century skills. Really impressed. This was probably not designed, but it was an byproduct, and it has really helped many children like you. That's fantastic. So Sadia, the next question is for you. What I've also heard is many students have told me that the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp has kind of transformed their outlook towards their life. It has exposed them to something new that they never knew before. And it has opened up a lot more new opportunities for them. According to you, how did the bootcamp transform you as a person? What new opportunities do you see now after attending the bootcamp?
Yes, sir. You know the secret that before the boot camp, I at least don't know the word what an entrepreneur means. My hobbies were watching TV, reading books, and etc. And I was simply wasting my valuable time by having some fun. Then I have been added to ATL with the help of In Charge, where I joined to ATL Tinkerpreneur 2021. Then, after the boot camp, I am an entrepreneur who owns a business. Now, my hobbies are creating and innovating new ideas. And now I am using my valuable time to learn something new like coding, etc. And also mentor some students as student mentors in our school. That's a great opportunity which the ATL Entrepreneur has given me. Simply, I can say that the boot camp has changed my life. It may also change yours.
Wow, that's really wonderful to know. Amazing. I'm sure it has transformed the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp has transformed the life of many a student. Uh, yeah, thousands of students across the country, I would say. Moving on, the next question, Varshini, I want to ask you this question. Why do you think it was essential to refine your digital product? Could you not have just taken your initial version of the product to the market? Wouldn't your customers have used it? What's your opinion?
That's a really good question, but the reason for refining my product was due to all the bad experiences I have had with some products earlier. There's some highly professional websites and apps, but they've always looked incomplete. Maybe they had bad font or it was too wordy. I've always found some little bit of imperfection and I didn't like it. I don't want my users to feel this way. I want them to see a complete and refined product. I also have a huge fear of getting bad feedback, which made me want to have a product with minimal issues so that people have very less to point out.
Wow. Okay, makes sense, Varshini. Definitely, no customer would want to buy a poor quality product, right? Or a half-baked or a half-cooked product. So, for example, if would we buy a furniture which is broken, or let's say something that doesn't look all that good, or it looks run down or looks old? Definitely, none of us would want to buy such a product. So we cannot definitely create such kind of products and expect our customers to buy our products either. So it really makes sense. That's why it's important to refine our digital product. It's not always easy. It takes effort. It takes time. You have to face a lot of challenges in order to bring it to a good shape. Let me ask the next question to Sadia now. Sadia, you have built an amazing chatbot and you have refined it significantly. So how do you plan to take this product forward? What do you intend to do next?
Yes, sir. Me and my teammate, Sheikh Shima Fareen, have planned to offer a chatbot to schools so that it can be integrated with the school websites. As many adolescents are in the school age, adolescent school students can have access to the website and the chatbot in it easily and benefit in the process. We plan to charge the school for every month for providing the chatbot services to the students. We will also try implementing many creative and innovative marketing strategies as well. And we also implement this chatbot in other schools. This helps us to promote our product and make it reach a large number of audience.
Wow, wow, that's really a great idea to take your product to the school and do a test market or test run or conduct a pilot of your product and see how students use it, and you will surely get a lot of feedback and you can definitely improve your product through this piloting exercise. That's really good. You can get to know a lot about acceptability of your product and before you actually go big bang and launch your product on a large scale. So that definitely makes sense. Okay, I think we are almost running out of time. So let me ask all of you one last question. What are some of the tips and suggestions that you would like to share with our budding tinkerpreneurs who are in attendance today? Let me start with Varshini first.
Well, as a person who loves having her creations look neat and elegant, I have a few tips for that side of the question. So I love having my users to like look and I like my products to look and feel so good that the users will never want to stop looking through. So first, focus on the details by having each and everything crisp and clear. Have enough empty space, readable text, and high resolution images. Don't cramp everything in or anything like that. Secondly, customize as per user expectations. Think about how your user will use the app and what will best suit them. Will it be difficult for them to read the text or see the images or any small detail that you can improve, just go for it. And to test your product, ask someone who isn't aware of technology, and if they can use it properly, well, your product is good to go.
Yeah, really makes sense, Varshini. Yeah, asking somebody to somebody who doesn't know technology, somebody who is completely new to the field, I think that they are the best people to test. But really insightful tips and suggestions. Amazing. What about you, Meghana? What do you suggest? What are your tips and suggestions for budding tinkerpreneurs? How should they refine their digital product?
Design and develop the product from the end user's perspective. We all have identified our target users while we were making our product one pages. For example, my users are early learners of music, primarily ages 10 to 18. So I needed the app to be intuitive and easy to use, even for kids. Once I considered implementing a point system, then I realized that the users don't need it. There are some features that are nice to have but don't add value to the user. Not to forget, get intermediate feedback from mentors, teachers, parents, or friends. Don't wait for the product to complete to get feedback.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, designing the product, keeping the end user in mind is the most important thing, and designing it to be intuitive to use is another great suggestion. Really makes sense, Meghana. Thank you for your tips and suggestions. And now let me ask Sadia as well. Sadia, what do you think is important for our budding tinkerpreneurs as they get to refining their product and before they take it to the market? What do you suggest that they do?
My tips and suggestions for all the budding entrepreneurs who are attending ATL Tinkerpreneur 2022 this year are: think of creative ideas to make your product be the best product in the market. Satisfy the needs of the customer and give your product a good shape and quality. Quality matters a lot in the product. So your product should not be sometimes work, sometimes don't. It should not be like that. So you need to start working on improving the quality of the product. Take it seriously and work on that. And remember one main point, that a good product needs less effort to sell, whereas a poor product needs a lot of effort to sell. Now you can decide whether you want to uh, make less effort or more effort to earn some profit from your product.
Wow. Yes, quality is the most important thing. It's doing the right thing, and even when nobody is looking at you. That's what somebody said about quality. So really valuable input, Sadia. So always work towards quality. Don't compromise on quality. Don't take shortcuts when you are building a product. So if you keep the basics in mind, you will always be able to build not only a good product, but also a great product. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Varshini, Sadia, Meghana, all of you for joining in today. Not only showcasing your demos, but also sharing your valuable experiences, tips, and suggestions with all the budding entrepreneurs who are participating in this year's bootcamp. So thank you. And with that, we come to the end of today's session. Um, I hope the audience has really enjoyed the session so far, and they have benefited in the process. I hope they can take back at least a few tips and suggestions or some ideas on how they can refine their digital products going forward in this week and in the coming weeks as well. So we will come back to you again next Tuesday and show you how you can refine your, not just refine, of course, you're already refining it this week, but how do you commercialize the product that you have already built and refined? Okay, how do you take it to the market? What are some of the business models? So we're going to talk about business models next week. Okay, so so thank you for attending this session today. If there are any questions, if there is any time left, though, I mean, I need to ask Ronak. So Ronak, over to you. Ronak, are you there? Ronak? So let's see if while Ronak responds, let me see if there are any questions on YouTube. Maybe we can respond to one or two questions while Ronak joins. Okay, if there are any questions, you can put it on YouTube chat window and we can take a look at it. If Ronak is back, I would like to hand over the session to him. Okay, looks like, yeah, so there are no questions as such. Yeah, so feel free to ask any questions on the chat window. Let me check with Ronak in a minute. Just stay back on the call. Okay, so looks like I'm not able to reach out to Ronak, but we have concluded today's session. So if you have any questions for us, you can definitely reach out to any of us. You can even, I can share my email ID. It's hskiran1972@gmail.com. Okay, and if you have any questions, any doubts, you can always reach out to me by email. Thank you very much for attending this session again. Yeah, bye-bye and see you next week. Yeah, I think we can disconnect.
Sir, we have to stop the live.
Yeah, let me see how to do that. I think I'm also a host, I guess. Okay, I'm ending the meet for all.